Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show tonight as the one and only Bridgeman and a legend, just a legend that is JFK. How we doing, boys?
Evening, Oxford. Evening, Bridgeman.
Oh, can I say a huge good evening to you guys? Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to our show, Rangers Radio.
How are you, JFK?
I'm fantastic, mate. It was nice to meet you guys again. My first game of the season. It was nice to meet you at the Temporary Bistro. Enjoyed a few libations after the game. It was nice to meet Terry. I'd not seen Terry for a long time. Bridgeman, yourself, and it was great to see the Fox out, a few others. So it was a good day. And obviously the result just put the icing on the cake, pal. Brilliant.
Yeah, the result always helps. Yeah, the result always helps. Yeah, but I still think the highlight of the day was Fox's parting. I've got to be honest with
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was superb.
Yeah.
I
was a bit worried about the shoes.
No many men can carry half a parting like
that. Oh, that's shocking, isn't it? The two of you, by the way, absolutely shocking, slagging Foxy like that. What was wrong with his shoes?
The Loudon's not a place for nice brogues, but if they fitted in well with his part and his hair.
he was the smartest man in the Loudon, he was.
Yep.
Smart. Anyway, good to have you back. How are you, Bridge?
I'm excellent, pal. Thanks very much. I can't wait, not for the international football, I can't wait for the next game to see my team.
But I think we say it every time, Jimmy. I think nobody's a fan of these international players.
No, they're just a drudge, Oxshire. It's just you're just sitting and waiting in anticipation of the next Rangers game that's coming on, you know. And it's no for me. I mean, it's no really anything that what the SFA that I've done to Rangers in the past. I've never been a Scotland fan, never ever, and I never shall be. So, roll on. A couple of weeks' time. Well, a week Saturday we see the Rangers again, or a week Sunday, isn't it? A week Sunday.
Yeah, a week Sunday. Right. A week St Johnstone. Then we get busy again, didn't we?
Yep, it gets busy after that, mate. Livingston, the Europe games, you know, Motherwell for the unfurling of the flag. So it's a busy time for us, and looking forward to that. Can't whack that. The Rangers back again.
Right. It'll be good time when we get back in the games. All right. Right, give us your thoughts on last Sunday, Jimmy. Obviously, we've not heard from you. I know you've been listening, and get your thoughts on what's maybe happened in the football Rangers world in the last week, mate.
Yeah, the game itself was. I don't see where others get the idea that it was a fantastic performance by them. You know, I think we controlled the game from start to finish. I know they had supposedly the most possession, but I thought it was an overall great performance on the day. And the view I had of Hollander's header was absolutely sublime. Brilliant. And the roar, when 52,000 is in the ground, the roar was absolutely fantastic. There's a couple of strangers who were in the seats before me, in front of me last season, so they're new season ticket holders. But I managed to get a couple of kisses and cuddles off them.
All right.
Unfortunately, I think it was Tam and Rab. So, the cuddle like any good blue nose. It was really enjoyable, mate. And after it, meeting you guys again for a couple of beers, it was good. Just topped it all off. So, yeah, it was a fantastic day, and I think you could feel in the stadium the pent up tenseness. It was there when we scored. You know, it was one a relief. Not a relief that they were ever going to score. It was just that to see us beat them once again. So, absolutely wonderful. I didn't think we had a bad player in the park. I think everybody stuck to their task.
I think it was a team performance, Jimmy. I don't think we had a couple of standouts and people were steady. We know we've got another couple of years to go. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. The standout man for me, if I'm going to pick a standout man, it's got to be Sir Stephen again. I thought he had a great second half. But going forward, you know, couple of seasons, mate, definitely.
Well, no, what I meant to tell you is before we go into a more serious subject, I was on the phone to a well-known Rangers radio correspondent from the northwest of the city today. Yeah, and you know me, Bridgeman, I'm no one for telling tales, as you know, Bridgeman. So the classic moment was he's telling everybody how famous he was, and I could overhear this phone conversation. Then he puts his breakfast order in of a roll, sausage, totty scone, ham, and black pudding. And wait to hear this, and a bottle of Diet Iron Brew.
Yeah, good mixture.
One making up for the other. Compensatory,
Yes.
Oh, did I laugh? Anyway, yeah. I think you're right, Jimmy. The Stephen Davis second half was excellent. Obviously, Big Balogun, you couldn't argue with the piece because he done a good job for us in an unusual position for him. But Stephen Davis, what can we say about the guy, Jimmy?
Well, that's the only football I've watched, apart from Rangers, was I watched Sir Stephen playing for Northern Ireland. Well, it looks as if he's no left in it. I mean, we had him first time round and he was a class act, and he's still a class act, and he's definitely got a couple of years left in him. Might not be as agile at times, that, but by goodness, he can read a game. His passing's fantastic, mate. His positioning off the ball as well as on the ball is good. So, we need to make sure another year's extension for the gaffer. Keep him for another season. Don't let him retire. 127 or 128 caps is that he's got. Most capped UK player.
Just brilliant, mate. Just
fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, do you know some Bridgeman? Do you not think he looks as if he enjoys every minute yet?
Yes, he does. He looks very happy, very contented. And when he makes a mistake, you see him doubling up the pace, and God knows what, bursting along to get in there and make up for it. Marvellous, sensational player for Rangers, in my opinion. And as I said last night, Jimmy, I was watching Lidical about him last night, and I thought that the suggestion by Oxtear, which has been quite a long term now, what do you call that match again?
A testimonial match.
A testimonial.
Testimonial.
You know.
Yeah. Listen,
get it done as quick as possible.
I'll put it out there, right? Listen, I'm even willing to get the boot suit. There you go.
Right. Well, you have been training for it right enough, haven't you?
Well, only time will tell about that, GSK. But I'm going to get the boot suit. Yeah. I'll get them dubbing up and that, ready to go.
Dubbing up, like, right, okay.
But I think, by the way, seriously, I know we're being a bit flippant here, Jimmy, but I'm serious. I think the guy deserves it.
A testimonial?
Because what he's done for the club and what he's done, he's a mace-cap British footballer.
He deserves it, you know. I mean, how long will that have been his second time around? Will that be 4 years?
This is his third season. He's saying the third season. This is his third season, and he's done 5 the time before. I know I know that. I know he's not done 10 years. I get that, understand that. But what he's done in the game, being the mace-cap British footballer, being a big part of your club, and everything he's done, I don't see why we wouldn't.
No, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't happen as well, mate. I totally agree with what you're saying. Your sentiments are exactly right. You know, okay, it's supposedly given for somebody who's got 10 or more years, but no, I think what he's done for Rangers the time before, and then when he's come back, absolutely wonderful. I mean, by the time he does get his extension, it'll be 9 years with a broken service. I know the broken service was quite a bit of a gap, but for me, I wasn't very qualms about me getting some sort of testimonial game, mate. Yep, definitely.
I would be there, that's for sure. I'll be there.
What, to see me?
No, you no.
I'll trust you, but you might have to. You be in stretch-up duty, mate.
I thought you'd have been good for the soccer, tomorrow.
No, mate, no.
Is that tomorrow or Sunday?
I didn't feel that was a big enough game for me to make.
All right. There was a wee rumour going about that Stevie G had been asked to appear in it.
It wouldn't surprise me, mate. I mean,
but I think with the COVID situation, I think obviously to knock it back. But it'd have been good to see.
when he played in that the veterans game for
Aye.
it looked as if he could still play, didn't he?
Aye.
Absolutely. I'm screaming, sign him up the new. The goal he scored was just superb, absolutely superb goal. I'll just put it in that corner there. Brilliant.
Right, if it's all right with you two, we'll get these phone lines open, will we?
Yeah, definitely.
Bridge,
Go for it.
let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, okay. Obviously, there's been a lot of stuff. How do I put this, Jimmy? There's been a lot of stuff going on off the park. I don't expect you to comment on it, but it's sad, isn't it? I mean, you can. It's so,
Yeah.
so transparent. We can see right through it.
Yeah, I'll not prolong it, and I'll just give you a wee thing about last year. I just think it's an agenda against Rangers. They're trying to cover up other things to try and have a go at us. But what I just like to say is, to all my fellow Rangers fans out there, everywhere you are, just be careful what you say and who you say it to, because you know something, they're watching us and they're just looking for us to slip up. And unfortunately, the club's hands are tied because they've got to act the way that they know they have to, because they could be punished. And I think they should maybe stick up for us a wee bit better than they are. But who's to say they're not going to do that in the future?
I think it's difficult for the club, but I think sometimes they've got to watch that they don't put people guilty to their found. Yeah, and remember, this country, you're innocent to your found.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough. But maybe that's just me being cynical. Maybe there was an ex-official of a certain club up in court today, and maybe, or the other day, maybe, just maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been joined by Alan. How are we doing, Alan?
Not bad, guys. Yourself?
Good, mate. Good.
Good.
We're
good, Alan.
For you to test the panel. Alan, do us a favour. Don't make the questions too hard tonight. You see who it's on.
Right, okay, doc. So the floor's mine.
The floor's yours.
Right, this is a question that I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks. Do you remember the game that we played Ross County and we went up 1-4-2?
Yes.
Obviously in Dingwall.
Yes.
Now, I believe that whoever took their top off, I think it was Tavernier, and went out of the crowd and gave whoever it was the top. Do you think that could have caused COVID into the Rangers team? I mean, it's half the panel, what do you think?
Oh, mate, if I knew, and I'll answer this one if you don't mind, and then you can go to your next question. If we knew what caused COVID, mate, us three wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be on an island. Right? So we'll take the fifth on that one. Your next question, Alan.
The next question is, do you think Connor Golson will sign a new contract now that they're in the Europa League?
Oh, that's a good one. I'll pass you to a guy who's always dealt with defence.
Don't give me Bridge, man, because his wallet's always empty.
I'll pass you somebody who's always dealt with defence lawyers. JFK.
JFK.
Yeah, all right, Alan. I think he will sign a new contract, mate, whether it's Champions League or Europa League. And I hope he does. We need continuity. So I'm confident he'll sign another contract. What do you think, Alan?
Me personally, I think he will sign another contract, but I just don't think Rangers will give him as much as what he's asking for.
Well, right, well.
But could it be at what age is he, 28, and he's maybe wanting a 4-year deal? I mean, I'm not too sure.
I'll get you his age, Al. I'll get you his age and his birthday just for you. Bridgeman.
Well, I think, I honestly think what it's going to be. It's going to be, whatever's happening is going to be an agreement between the player and the club. And I think he'll sign. And much like you said there, we're not 100% sure whether it'll be the exact same thing that he's looking for. But holding out the way he's holding out, like to get, no matter what age he is, if he wants more money, he's within his rights as a contracted player to do what he can to get it. He is a professional, and we give him that due. I don't think he's ever really let us down. He's given 100% on the part. He's been captain every, even the last game against Celtic, he was a captain, and patting the back to him. I think he's been a standout player for us, a rock that the managers used, and I thought he was brilliant. And unfortunately, it's got to a point where I don't know if we could call it an impasse yet, but it's close to it.
Good. The other thing was when I was at the game at the Old Firm, the Copeland rear. See these people that boo their team off and that's no Rangers fans, you know. I mean,
when did that happen? On Sunday?
Well, they booed them off. Well, I don't say boo them off. I say, but what I'm saying is that they kind of get in amongst it and give some of the players a hard time. But I must say, when Helander had scored that goal, I mean, big Connor Golson was absolutely over the moon. Mm-hmm. That goal went in, because that was a massive goal to kickstart our season.
I know the people that go to the Copeland Road stand are a bit strange, to say the least. You know, I know that.
Steady.
I know, Bridgeman, tell her.
At JFK, I know you try and keep away from it as much as you can, but I just felt that we had people getting behind the team on Sunday.
Yeah, that's and I thought the only booing that I've heard in the last couple of weeks was the Alice Cart game, and I don't think that was actually. I think it was more to do with the referee for me.
Well, he was shocking.
But as a Ross County game, you know, I mean, it should have been 4-0, but the 4-2 flattered Ross County. But I must admit, I don't understand where you're coming from about booing, Alan. If you heard booing, were you at the game, Alan?
I was at the game, yeah. I was at the game, and it came to the front, the Copeland front at the Bolton. I'm up the top.
I can explain that. Bridgeman, it was his turn to get the pies. Told the guys round about him he forgot his wallet. He started doing.
There's no chance of
that. There's a good chance.
Right, last one, Alan.
Last one was the situation on Brandon Barker. I've got another comment, if you don't mind. Jiggs will give him a mutual concern hasn't got shot of him, Oxford.
I think he's on decent money for where he is, mate. I think they would like to put him on loan and get some of his wages back. I don't know if you can still put people on loan to certain leagues once the transfer window's shut. But I think they would like to put him on loan. But put it this way, he's in his final season of his contract. He's not going anywhere unless we pay him his money, mate. And we'll pay that over a year rather than pay him one lump sum.
Loan agreements are null and void, Oxshare, once the transfer window is closed. Players who have are out of contract can join any club that they want to join if they're going to have them. So I think that what Rangers are doing there is they're giving Brandon Barker a chance. They're giving him a mutual consent, going to buy out the rest of his contract and say you can go. And thank goodness for that.
Do you think they're going to do that, Jimmy?
Well, that seems to be the talk, that they're going to buy out the rest of his contract, mutual consent, let him go.
You would let him say, unless you come to an agreement like you give him up front, it would need to be, for us to pay him halfway his whole contract paid up, it would need to be financially beneficial for us. We might as well pay it interest-free for a year.
Aye.
You know?
Yes, sorry. Sir, can I just ask you one more question before I go and let the rest of the guys on? I'm quite happy Nikola Katic is out on loan. To the Bundesliga, because that can only make him stronger.
No, he's went to Croatia, mate. He's not went to the Bundesliga. He's went to Hajduk Split in Croatia.
Oh, I think they said to Eton.
He's went to
mate.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, it's good news that he's going to be playing first team football, and I think the long year loan will only make this boy a lot better and stronger.
Katic.
And make sure the back four. Yes, Katic, yes.
I agree. I think it's a good move for him to go and play games. Bridgman.
Well, speaking about this other night, Alan, and I voiced my opinion then, and they're quite strong too. Nikola Katic has to go on loan. He's got to go out on loan. There's far too much pressure playing for the Rangers. In my opinion, too much pressure on him when he's playing for the Rangers. And, people might say if he makes a wee mistake, but people may go on to him. Don't mean to go on him, but just sometimes it's just instinct, You see what's happening, you shout and ball. But I really do think it would benefit to him to get out there. He's back in his own country, if you follow what I mean, and he'll thrive a wee bit, and hopefully get some really good games, a good run of games, and get his fitness back up to where it should be, where it could be or should be. I think he's a super player. I don't think he's the best player in the world, but I think he's a super player and would be a good fit for Rangers in times of crisis. He's a first team player, so scored a couple of goals against them, which it's not the most easy thing in the world, and he loves it. He loves the Rangers, and I hope he comes back.
Right, before I go, guys, I would just like to wish all the Rangers fans all over the world, we are the people. We're going for 56, and you guys have a great night, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the show.
Brilliant,
Cheers, Alan.
Cheers, mate.
JFK, take care. Bridgman, take care. Oxair, take care.
All the
It's a
best,
great
Alan.
call.
All the best, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we've also been joined by Bournemouth Bear. How are we doing,
How
Bournemouth?
How you doing, lads? First time I've been on this season. How you all getting on, all right?
All right, Bournemouth.
Aye, mate.
Brilliant, pal.
All good. Decent start to the season there, apart from just a wee bit of slip up in the Champions League.
Mate, it's just frustrating. GFK.
Look, I think we all thought it was a gimme against Malmo. Then we all thought it was going to be there for us, and we slipped up. We should be in the Champions League, but typical Bears like we are. We'll take it to chin. We'll go on with it. We don't throw sharks or anything like that at anybody like them. So we've got on with it. Let's give a good account of us. Or not just give a good account of us. Let's get out of the group into the last 32, last 16, etc. And it's disappointing, Bournemouth, but we've taken the chin, mate, and just got on with it.
Yeah, but do you think Europa League's maybe our level just now?
That's maybe a good point. Bridgman?
Yeah, I've said that myself in the past. I think it's no offence to anybody at Rangers, I would never do it, but I really do think when we played Malmo had the beating us, and I'm not being funny when I say that. They did. They
beat us twice, Bridge, didn't they? They beat us twice.
They had the beating us this season. I'm not saying every season, this season, and I don't think there's nothing we can say about it. We went out, we tried our best, and it wasn't good enough. And here we are, we're playing the Europa League, and we're starting to pick up a bit of form. So, with a bit of luck, we're through to the group stages. With a bit of luck, we have a good group, and maybe even a bit more luck, win the group, get out of the group stages. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I think that's a good point you make there. Bournemouth, look, they beat us home and away. We've got to take it on the chin, and as Jimmy rightly says, we lost a couple of games of football matches. We don't go throwing sharks, But
that helps. It's a two-leg. It wasn't a fluke. They beat us both games, so you're out, and you've got to take it in the chin and move on. And it's, you know what I mean. But we will move on, and hopefully we've done all right in the Europa League. 4 years in the trot. Maybe that is just our level just now. Maybe we've got another season or two before we step up. But the team's doing all right just now. I'm happy and confident. It's just what's happened out with football just now. It's just went mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
we all know through experience how the media works, mate.
Yeah. There's agendas, and I heard Jimmy at the start, and he was 100%. We've all got to watch ourselves now, innit? Whether you're out the stadium, you're in the stadium, or what you're doing, because people's watching. Watching the fans, they're watching the club, and they're just waiting to pounce. We know there's an agenda, and they're just waiting to pounce at everything that they can get to us.
Yep. I think it will all unravel in the end, political, and I genuinely believe that, and we'll see where it takes us. I think there's political motives behind it, and we just need to be careful, and our day will come.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right about the start of the season, mate. obviously, if we'd beat Dundee United, which we should have, let's be honest about it, we should have done. Yeah, we weren't great, but we still had enough to beat them. We pounded them, we never beat the ball in the back of the net. What if we just scored it to change the whole game and the dynamics, and that didn't mean sitting with maximum points? It didn't, but so we take it in the chin. We're sitting with 9 points, 1 point behind last year, and the greatest team the world's ever known, and actually 4 points we were they went last year, and they've lost 4 games before the end of August. 5 games before the end of August, but they're the greatest side ever. So we move on, and hopefully Bournemouth will go on a bit of a run now.
Yeah, what's your feelings on the kind of transfer window? Are you happy that we kept everybody? I know we only signed kind of Lundstrom and that, but I think our transfer window was there in January when we brought in Scott Wright and that.
Scott Wright, Jack Simpson,
the
boy Niamdi. Then
Sakala.
we brought in Fashion Sakala. We brought in.
It gave us the extra few months, and now the main important thing was just keeping everybody.
And we've done that, and we get rid of some players. Some people, guys like Greg Stewart, etc., and obviously Katic and Nitin went and scored. Bickerton scored in his debut, Bridgeman. Did you know that?
Did he, aye?
I did that. I've been following
Well,
it.
put it this way, Fox sent me it. It doesn't mean it's true, because he's been known to tell the odd fib.
But no, and they're just so typical, isn't it? It's just typical of what can happen. And hopefully it's Sean. I never got a full story, but hopefully it's Sean scored the goal and it proved that he's worth for the loan. The loan period might be, and that'll get him back. I've been saying that for a wee while. He needs to get himself back into the international squad, because that's what makes it up for him. I can't say that about the Scottish players, but that's what makes it up for them.
Can I just say, on Biggerton, I think, I'm not being critical, but I think Biggerton's career at Ibrox is probably gone, to be honest.
I agree.
I think it's I think that's it.
I don't see it, mate. I think Katic is getting maybe a chance of coming back out the two.
Yeah.
Right, just wait there, mate. We've been joined by, well, we've all been ascend. But it's been a lot. What would you rate it? 6.5 out of 10 the start of the season?
Yeah. We dropped silly points to Dundee United, like you said, which would have been sat at the top of the league, and then the 2 defeats to Malmo. But like we say, it wasn't a fluke result. They beat us twice. We never performed. We didn't deserve to go through. It's simple as that, innit? You don't win, you don't go through.
Aye. Good point, well made, JFK.
Aye, Bournemouth's 100% there. You know, it's just the way it is at this moment. Me, I'd get a 6.5, 7 as well. I'm not going overboard about it. I was disappointed about Dundee United result. I think it was a bit of a freak result. We should have beat them. Malmo beat us both games, and I would say I'd agree with Bridgeman 100% as well. I think at this moment in time we're a Europa League team, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. And again, I'll say just take it to the chin. Let's compete in the Europa League and see how well we can do in it. Which I'm confident we'll come out of the group.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're joined by Willie. Evening, Willie.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, mate. What's on your mind? What's your question?
I'm a wee bit disappointed that you're getting Fox a bit of digging, and he's doing the technicals in the background, and he's not really got a right to reply. I think that's a bit much, to be honest. I know you're just at it, but
what was that, mate?
No, I never get a chance to say about it. I did phone a couple of times, but you were obviously busy, Ox.
No,
I mean, he scored in Europe, didn't he? He didn't just score against Motherwell. Say again?
We weren't busy. We knew it was you.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, well, that's fair enough.
You've got the show on in the background. Turn it off.
No. It's not me, mate, honestly.
You have, mate.
I haven't. I've got nothing on, nothing. I'm still in my kitchen with a bowl of Weetabix.
Right, okay.
My hand to God.
Okay. Carry on.
As I said, did they not score in Europe and all by getting? It wasn't just against Motherwell.
He scored 5 goals for us, I think 6 goals for us, and I think 4 of them are somewhere against Motherwell. One a penalty against Royal Antwerp, mate, and I can't remember who the other goal was against, but I'll check it out just for you, Willie, yeah?
Yeah, I think he came off the bench and scored. I can't remember if it was a header or no.
He scored the penalty against Royal Antwerp. Barisic.
Oh, it was a penalty, right. I couldn't remember. I remember he scored in Europe, and you never... Well, I don't remember him mentioning it the other night, you know, although you said the Motherwell. I mean, let's face it, Motherwell were beating us that day. There is no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't even close to doing anything to the big one come on, you know. But Again, I mean, you're going about Greg Stewart. I thought Greg Stewart was one of the unluckiest players that's ever played for Rangers, because the boy came on and he scored goals. He changed the game, what you want a substitute today. But unfortunately for him, he's just there at the wrong time. There's just far too much quality round about for him to get into the team. And it's a bloody shame, because the boy's Rangers through and through, you know what I mean?
You're also right about it, and he did score another goal in Europe. It was against Lech Poznan.
There you go, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not often wrong, but I'm right again.
6 goals, 1 penalty, yeah. Obviously, 4 of his goals were against Motherwell. So if we played Motherwell every week, Bournemouth, Berry, been the team, man.
Well, that's that, but see, at the end of the day, when you actually look at the stats, the minutes on the park and the goal return, it's no. I know a lot of fans get them on and keep them, and we should have kept them, but when you actually look at the return, it's not a great return, is it?
He only started 10 games, mate, to be fair. He came on as sub 31 times, you know.
But you know, you've got to fancy Gerrard's opinion, and I like the big guy, but if Gerrard feels he's got to go out, then he's got to go out on loan, innit?
I just don't think he's...
Never liked him.
I don't think he'll come back.
No, I never liked that at all. I just didn't see what the gaffer's seen in him. Was the keen on him at all? It just didn't look apart for me.
What's your next point, Wally?
Well, I'm surprised at Jimmy, to be honest. I mean, I think that's not a bad return, considering he's reasonably young. He's not got any family over here. As Gerrard said, he's been stuck in isolation in whatever hotel or apartment he stays in and stuff like that. And he was always, the heat was doing and he was right into the training. I'm not saying that he should have maybe been a bit better, but at the end of the day, he scored the goals when we've needed them. And that's what you want a substitute to say. Somebody to change. I mean, look at Novo. Novo was a brilliant impact player, and yet he was a great player before he got to that stage. But latterly, you brought him off the bench and he done the business for you. I mean, it was him that got us through for the final and all. You know what I mean? With own penalty. As I say, that's Greg Stewart to me again. As I say, the boy came off the bench, scored 2 goals against Aberdeen, his former team. And I think he was a better player playing for Steve Clark. And hold on, I just spit in it. You know what I mean? Because he was a Kilmarnock manager. He seemed to have like a free rein at Kilmarnock. And then I was surprised he went to Aberdeen. You know, because he done nothing really for them. But I thought he was just unlucky. You know, a bit like, what do you call him? Dockery. Is it Dockery? Remember the boy for Hamilton that went to Shrewsbury and got player of the year and all that?
Just listen, time is everything. Who's in front of you? The manager doesn't fancy you. It's just lucky. It's just lucky in your time. All right, well, anything else on your mind?
I don't know. I've maybe won the lottery. I might be able to buy you a drink, but I've not seen it yet. I think it's half 10, isn't it? It's a bit early.
If you've won the Euro Millions, phone us back and I'll let you right back in again. Don't you worry about that. Right, catch you soon, brother.
All right, mate. You take care.
Cheers. Right, I think we get some more callers coming in. I get what he's saying about Biggett and Bournemouth, but I'm in your camp. I just don't know if he was right there. Yeah.
Do you know what it boils down to, Ox, really? It was the same as them when they should have went and destroyed us and moved on. We've won the league now and we've got a chance, and no harm to the boys, but players like your Greg Stewart, we need to move to the next level. We've kind of discussed it, maybe, all right, we're at the Europa League level. If we want to move on to Champions League level, your Greg Stewarts, your Dochertys, your Rittons, they're just not good enough for that, are they?
Unluckily. I think we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
Hi, Ox, how you doing, pal?
All right, mate, how's your good self? What's on your mind?
No, I'm just, I've not been on since, obviously, the weekend's game, so...
Give us your thoughts.
Well, obviously, delighted with the result. I thought there wasn't really too much in between the game, but I just felt as though, like, obviously, when we came out the second half, we went after them a bit more, and I just maybe felt that maybe if we went after them a bit more in the first half, we could have maybe get a wee bit more joy. I don't know what you think about that.
JFK.
Well, I think we probably could have scored a couple more in the second half, Ross. I think we played far better in the second than the first. But look, a Bridgeman for me is enough. A 1-0 will do. And it was an all-round team performance for me. So some people thought that they were better than us. I never seen it that way. I don't know if that's just my blue colour specs, but I didn't see them threatening us at all. You know, Big Balogun had Fushihara, I think is that what it's called, or Kyogo. I had him in his back pocket the whole game, so I didn't see any threat whatsoever for me. Even with the new guy they had, number 88, I can't remember his name. I see with Croatia, I think. He didn't cause us any problems either. So it was a 1-0, maybe going on 2 or 3, mate.
Yep. No, I'm not being critical about the team at all. I just I thought like that. I don't know if it was a tactic or no, like we letting their defence have the ball in the first half, but obviously the second half we went after them a wee bit more, and obviously we got our joy.
That's a fair comment, mate, because they did have a lot of possession in the first half, but it was all 30 yards for the goal, passing the boot, and I think when we just upped it in the second half, they for about 25 minutes, we should have scored maybe more than the 1 goal, and that was the only disappointing point. Bournemouth.
Yeah, do you know what, Alex? I watched it back the other day after work, and you remember what Ryan Kent done last year where he sat on Scott Brown?
I bet you that was lush.
It looked like they sat on Callum McGregor the other day as well. They were having quite a lot of possession, and he kind of had a free rein. In the second half, we came out and we went for them, and Ryan Kent seemed to kind of sit on McGregor and block him because they were having it all right. They were having a lot of possession. They weren't doing a lot of it, but he was the one that kept being on the ball. But Ryan Kent in the second half seemed to go right on top of him, which left a lot of space for us to go through with it. And I think that's when we started dominating them.
Aye, Ross.
As I said, like I wasn't really like threatened by what they were doing. Do you know what I mean? I thought we were quite comfortable. You know what I mean? But no, like we did deserve a win. I think, you know, and it's like the boys are saying, like 1-0. It doesn't matter what it is against, but I just felt as though like that first half. You know, you just don't know, do you? If we went after, maybe we would get a wee bit more joy out of it.
Aye, but we got the 3 points, mate, and I think that was a mission accomplished, mate.
Yeah, that's spot on.
You know,
also, the Euro groups. I think we can be quite happy with that.
Right, okay. Well, let's just have a quick look at that, mate. Just have a quick look, see when we're home. But the ties are obviously. The ties were at home in 18th. It's the 18th. Just make sure I'm getting this right.
16th.
16th against Olympic Lyon. Yeah, a blast for the past.
Aye.
So hopefully we can get a result. I think that first game is maybe pivotal. I don't know. You're thinking, Ross?
I definitely think we can go out and try and get maximum points in the home games. Definitely. Obviously, Lyon away is going to be a little bit tricky, but with the other two, I think we can get something on the road. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yep, 16th, and then on the 21st of October, home to Brøndby. We've got quite a good record against Danish teams. CFK.
Aye, Brøndby. I think we're very capable of beating Brøndby the 2 legs, mate. The 2 ties rather. So I don't have any fear about them. I think we'll be able to beat Lyon at home. Be a tougher game away, but I'd be looking for the 2 games. I'd be looking for 12 points, mate.
Oh, 12 points. I think that would get us through, mate. We might even win for that. Bournemouth?
Yeah, I would probably go along with JFK, Alex, to be honest. 9 points for home. Away win at Brøndby. Maybe take a point in Prague. There you go, your 12 points. It's got to take you through, innit?
Aye.
You've got to win your home games, innit? If you get 9 points for your home games, I would fancy his away to Brøndby and then try and get something in Prague.
If you can win all your home games, it's good. I would say minimum 7, Ross, and you're competing at home. Yeah, if you could take 7 points minimum. Yeah.
That's 100%. I do think we'll go through it, boys. I think we've got more than enough to beat Sparta Prague and Bromby to that second place, and if we can get first, then it's even better. It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's
quite there, Oxford.
Yes, of course you can.
I was just going to say, I think that's quite a level group that we're in.
Aye.
I think all the teams could beat all the other teams, if you follow what I mean. It just depends on your form and on the day and how you cope with the pressure and things like that. I just want Rangers to go and play their game, just like they did against that mob across the other city on Sunday. That was just a wonderful play, particularly in the second half. And the players came out and did the business. And that's all we want them to do for every game. Just come out, concentrate, and do the business, and you'll get through.
That's probably a great point, Bridgeman. I would probably say every game's a 50-50 tie in that group.
I mean, obviously, if we could win our first game, you're hoping that the other two teams draw, didn't you? So that you know they're taking points off each other. You just need a bit of luck. Listen, if we could win the group JFK, fantastic, because you progress. If you're runners up, you play a team that drops down for the Champions League, and if you're a lucky losers and end up third, you play somebody coming up for the conference.
Aye. Well,
you need to do something. You need to go something.
I think so. No, I mean, I'm like Bournemouth. I mean, I would disagree a bit. It's 50-50. I think we're home games. I think we've got to be 70-30 in favour of a packed Ibrox. I mean, we've all been there the last 4 seasons. We've saw how we've done the last 3 seasons, how we've done, and it's been absolutely fantastic. You know, Lyon don't strike any fear into me. I mean, I know they're a French side, but they're one of what you would call the poorer French sides. I think they're sitting about 9th or 10th or something in the league.
But remember, Jimmy, we can't sing or shout at any minute games. We've got to
I know.
So it's kind of
sit in our horns and put our masks on, mate. Totally agree with you there. But I don't mean I think the most, if I would say the most difficult game, if that's the right word, would be the Prague game. Just going to that kind of environment, how the players have coped with it in the past, and I just think they would cope with it. But if I'm looking for 3 home wins, definitely, and an away win against Brøndby, and I'm more looking for us obviously to be defeated for Lyon and Prague in the other 2 games. Anything we get for them away from home would be a bonus, obviously, but you've got to win your 3 home games, Oxia. Love to win the group because it gives us what you would say a more favourable tie in the next round, and obviously for the cash.
I'd love to win the group, Jimmy. I just think realistic. I mean, if you take 7 points, you know you've took points off of the teams you're competing against, and hopefully they lose other points, and that can maybe push you on to win the group. You know, but listen, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the ties. I know that Bridgeman is a big fan of European football. Bridge.
Absolutely, I just love it. I just love the European football. I love everything about it. It's a very exciting part of the game most of the time. And when Rangers are in it, I'm desperate to see them winning. Because you're coming up against teams that don't give you... Sometimes you just don't get a minute on the ball type of thing, you know. And some of them are very technically good. Not necessarily Barcelona good, but good, you know. And they really... Sometimes they split you open in the blink of an eye, you know. I just love all that. I love the tactics. I love all that. I just love them in European football. And I'm so happy my team's in it. And in the group stages as well. Just wonderful, wonderful experiences to come.
Ross, up to you. Anything else, mate?
No, that was just about me, mate. Listen, I just wanted to thank you again quickly, mate, for what you've done for us for the morrow, mate.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's no me, mate. It's nothing to do with me, mate. It's to do with Rangers Radio. 2 different things.
Aye. But no, we're very, very grateful, mate, and we'll try and get as much money put down for the charity as possible.
No, it's a great cause. I hope you enjoyed your day. We had a certain JFK on the subs bench. He's been practicing his marbles all week just in case they were one down. But good luck, and remember, we want the cup back. You're not going down.
No pressure, no pressure.
Have a good day and enjoy
thanks very much.
The Erskine day tomorrow, yeah?
We'll be watching you, pal. We'll be watching you.
Best of luck, mate. Best of luck.
Cheers, boys. See you after, boys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Ross has got a team representing Rangers Radio. They're bowlers. Him and his mates are bowlers. We struggle for bowlers, as you know.
Bowlers, maybe.
We've plenty of them, but no bowlers. And Ross kindly stepped in. But usual team is some issues with COVID, etc., and ill health. And Ross and his pals with his bowling club stepped in, and they'll be at Partick Bowling Club representing Rangers Radio tomorrow morning, starting, and see if they can bring the cup back for us. Well, as long as they have a good day and they make loads of money for the Rangers supporters, they're asking appeal. That's all we're asking. And by the way, there's still time to take shots to win the Martha Andrews shirt. I'm sure that Old School Blue will get it posted on Twitter, Facebook, in the lobby, and on YouTube to see if anybody wants to take a shot. Try and get it up towards the 2,000 mark, yeah, or maybe over, yeah. When this Marvin Andrews top for 2005 helicopter Sunday, what a gift that would be. Give somebody Bournemouth,
Keep believing, Keep believing.
That was the one, mate. That was the top he wore that day, and he gave it. Somebody won it. They've donated it, and so far it's raised over £2,000. Yeah.
Brilliant. That'll go to Erskine Charity Helps, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Brilliant.
But for a tenner, you have a chance of winning that. Not a bad deal, if you ask me. If that's your thing, if you like the tops and frames, you know.
All right. Well, Ops, just throwing a wee span on the works before I go. What do you think will happen in the game next week? Do we go with Balogun at right back? Tav coming back? Is Patterson coming back?
I don't think we'll go with Balogun at right back. I don't, but I'll throw that around. JFK.
No, I don't think that will happen. For the game you had was fantastic. I think Tav will probably be back. He'll probably get the nod ahead of Patterson. So for me, it's definitely going to be Tav.
But I'll tell you this, Balogun might play, depending how much football Hollander has international-wise, if that makes sense, Bournemouth.
He was meant to have been outstanding again last night against
Spain, he was, mate. Aye, he was.
You know,
missed Stephen Davis again.
Oh, mate.
Outstanding again. Unbelievable.
What a man,
unbelievable. Mate. I think Hadji got assist for Romania as well. So, all in all, it's been a good week for the boys away in international duty.
I'm not too happy with that, Hadji. I've got to be honest with you. I was in the final two for that Gillette Romanian ad. Me tape, you know. He took me tape. I was a bit upset about that.
Do you think Hadji's come on, Ops? I know he's one of your favourites. Do you think he's come on? He's bulked up and he's come on this year?
I do. But I didn't think he was great up at Ross County. JFK.
Yeah. No, I'm the same camp as yourself, here. I think he has improved, but the old same we had here for the last season is I think the jury's still out with me. I think he has improved.
It kind of tells you, Jimmy, as well, doesn't it? Because he was playing, and then as soon as Old Firm, the big game, he's back on the bench again, isn't it?
Aye, I think the gaffer realises that, mate. But I think I've always said the jury's out, Bournemouth, but I still think there's a player in there. And I'm just hoping that we get to see the best of him, you know. I think the gaffer will give him a chance this season, and then we'll see what happens after that. But let's hope that he progresses good ways. But jury's still out for me, pal.
Right, I'm going to shoot off. You enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll listen in, all right?
Cheers, buddy.
Speak to you soon, mate. Speak to you soon.
See you later, Ops. See you later, rich man.
Right. I think we've been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
All right. How is everybody?
Good morning.
Big Al.
How are you doing, Jimmy? Hey, Jimmy, you're not on Twitter, are you?
No, I don't date Twitter, pal.
That's thank God for that. Just in case they're checking. Good to hear your dulcet tones. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself on Sunday, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was good, pal. Cheers.
Aye, no worries. The Katic and the Itten thing, I think when the players kind of get put on loan, they're at an age now, they're no young guys going out on loan to get experience. I think we've seen the last days at Rangers. I believe Itten, did he score this morning?
I scored his debut.
Good on him. I'm kind of with Jimmy Tay. I think he did get chances, but obviously he wasn't doing enough during the week at training for the manager to pick him And it would be difficult to get ahead of Alfie and somebody and Roof and things like that up front. So very difficult for the guy. But I think we've seen the last of them. I think obviously the manager, he's put Katic out, but I think he prefers a Simpson. I'm not that keen on that Simpson either. I think I fit Katic what we've seen him in the past. I think certainly looks at me a dominant player, Nat Simpson. So I think we've seen the last of the guys. As I said before, they're no young guys going out to gain experience like your Kellys and McCrorys.
It's only my opinion, and I'll go to Jimmy and then Bridgeman with me. But I think the two cases are slightly different. I just don't think the manager has a lot of faith in Itten. We can see by the number of games he's played.
You must read my mind there, Oxshire. I was just going to come in there when Big Al was talking. If you listen to the two comments by the gaffer, he was more progressive about Katic when he said that he needs him to get more game time and he thinks he'll get that elsewhere for him to come back and prove his worth at Rangers. Whereas Itten was basically, I'm putting him out on loan, but it was only for other reasons to put him out on loan. So out of the two, I don't think we'll see Itten back, but I certainly think we'll see Katic back, mate.
Yeah. I understand what the two are saying here, but just the way I'm looking at it, like if Katic goes out on loan and he plays well and they put an offer in, somebody wants to take him and it's a reasonable offer and the club are happy with it, the manager happy with it, we probably not see him back. For him to go out on loan and not play too bad, play badly, or no progress, maybe what the manager and the backroom staff are looking for, he's not coming back, is he? So I can see. I just think at a certain age when you go out on loan, it's to revive your career and get you some game time, but your future isn't with us, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sad with Katic because I liked the big guy. I thought he was all right. And I'm not really too fussed. Like, I wish him all the best, but
only time will tell. You might be.
Oh, definitely.
You might be right.
I'm only putting it out there. I'm not.
I just feel
usually wrong.
I think Katic is going out to get game time, and Itten's going out to get game time, no for fitness. Yeah,
aye.
You know.
I think there was some quoted on follow the Croatian, the Hadžić split manager, that said, whatever you hear, these stories are not all true. He felt, according to him, quote-wise, he thought he would be coming back to Rangers at the end of the 6 months. That's what he said.
Yeah, well, the devil's in the detail, mate.
Of course.
I'll put it to you this way, Bridge. I wouldn't believe everything we read in the press.
No, I know. It was on follow, so I'm assuming the guy...
No, I'm just saying, I wouldn't believe everything we read in the press, yeah?
No, that's not your press anyway,
No.
I think the statement that it could be recalled for January if need be tells you that the gaffer still thinks there's a player there, and I think so as well.
Itten's got that as well, mate.
Has he?
Aye, but I think that makes sense.
It does.
If you put somebody out on loan and you had an injury crisis and you've got somebody that you're paying maybe half their wages and you can call them back, it makes there's sense in that, but it doesn't mean they'll necessarily come back, Jimmy. Yeah?
Aye, but I mean, I'd rather have Defoe than Itten, and you know what I think about Defoe. And for me, I don't think he's got it. I don't think. No, I know Peter's saying his record. He's been a sub more times than Itten. For me, nah, just let him go and that's it. But definitely Katic. I'd like to see Katic back. I think it was a rock when he played for us. So
I'd like to see him back, Jimmy. I'd like to see Katic back. But I think that game time thing. Can he not get game time playing with the B team?
I think what happened there, mate. He played for the B team, mate, and he strolled through it, mate.
So he's not getting the challenge.
Aye. There's got to be. You've got to be.
I understand. Understand.
You know what I
I
mean?
watched that game, Oxtear.
You know what it's wait a minute, Jimmy.
Aye.
You know what it's like, Al, when you're
Oh,
on
here
here,
we
you're
go.
on the Premier radio station, and Alex Kelly comes up. He's not.
Is he in the queue? Is he in the queue tonight, Alex?
I never said anything, mate. I'm just.
They need to. I really appreciate it, but it was like phoning into like the Conference League. You know what I mean? Whereas here, I mean, he's a very, very polished, rounded, very professional. He's always trying to up your game. Does that make sense? Whereas I feel Alex maybe needs to get on loan a wee while. You know?
Right. Yeah, we need to get him out on loan to get some fitness. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Get some patter. Get some.
And you come, JFK.
I thought you were going to say, you come, Alex.
Right in a minute.
Good.
I watched the B team game, the Lowland League game, if you want to call it what it is, with big Katic, and I mean I don't know if you've seen any, Al, but it was men against boys, mate. He just strolled through the game, and it looked as if it was actually, but he didn't even get a second breath. So he's got to go somewhere to get challenged, and he'll probably get that Herbie Hadjuk split. So best of luck to him. Best of luck to him, mate.
Aye, well, listen, Big Hitton can prove us wrong. Stranger things have happened in football, but you can only call as you see it at the moment, Big Ala.
Oh, definitely. Look, in what you said there about in regards to that 6-month option and bringing players back. Now, if the two of them go there and get man of the matches week in, week out, and scoring half tricks for fun, get them back, get them in the team. You know what I mean? But I just think sometimes at a certain age, your time's up and you have to move on. I'd like, out of the two of them, I'd like to see Katic back. I like the big guy. I think he's got something to offer us. In regards to it, and he just doesn't make the grade.
I've been hearing that somebody's been posting on Facebook, mate, they're coming for you, Big Al.
Oh, they're coming for me?
So if you
they better bring it, I'll tell you that.
In a minute or so, we'll be going for a tune, and you just hold on.
I'm just gonna do a couple of stretches here.
Yeah.
I'll get
Somebody's
myself
going to get a
sorted.
right Malkian.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait for this. Get yourself in mute, and we're going to have a tune.
Beautiful.
In the land, they're number one. We are their fans, we're top of the league. Catch us if you can. We are the champions. They bounce through the middle, they fly down the wing, run into the box. Then they hear us singing across and the flick, and it's into the net. One more champions, champions. To go week after week, and up there we go, we're raising the flag at Ibrox Park. We're white and blue champions. The Rangers are the best team in the land. They're number one. We are their fans. We're top of the league. Catch us if you can. We are the champions. Champions. Sing and dance, we are their fans.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Absolutely brilliant.
I'm sure that song would have offended some of our listeners.
Can I just say something, Oxdear?
Yes.
That's uncanny. I played that today. I was going through my vinyls today, and I've got.
You play it every day.
No, I know. I was going through my vinyls today, my Rangers vinyls, and I came across it's sung by Billy Rankin, and the B-side's called "Coming Out on Top," and Graham Souness is on the front of the cover. It was made in 1987.
Yep.
Absolutely brilliant. I was listening. I was jumping about the day with that. Brilliant stuff, guys. Brilliant.
Pretty spooky here.
Spooky, yeah.
Are you limbered up, Big Al?
Yes, I've just finished all my stretches here. Bring this amateur on.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I don't know who it is.
How old's it, Alex, anyway? Because I don't want to be taking any liberties here.
Have you ever seen a hangway? What do you call him? A Tweedledee or a Tweedledum?
Nah, Alex is a good guy. I'll get that in first.
Or maybe an Oompa Loompa.
Sorry, Mrs. Alex, but your husband's not coming home tonight. Nah, he's a good guy, Alex. He reports on the bowling and all that. You've heard of this, eh?
Aye, well, I know he's a keen bowler. Anyway, surprise, we've been joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, gentlemen in wee Al for Australia.
How are you doing, Oompa?
Oh, you're some man. I was waxing lyrical about you last night, too, and then you came out with that rubbish again.
Oh, I can't help myself, man. It's just like being on Twitter talking to you.
Right, Alex, what's on your mind, mate?
Oh, enjoying your discussion as usual, gents. I was just thinking about the team. I would say that the rebuild that Gerard's done has been excellent up until this point, but I would say we're in a position of transition between some of the players within the team. I'm looking at the age in McGregor and Davis and Tav and Golson. I think we've got automatic replacements here in the squad, and it's just a matter of bedding them in. I believe that Katic will come back to the team, but I think he might be coming back to replace Golson. Okay. You know, just the age of him.
I see what you're saying. I think the point you're making, transition to get us to the next slightly, to move up a level, yeah. This is difficult. What Gerard's done and achieved for us is phenomenal, but just to keep moving forward, it becomes harder, Al.
Oh, definitely. But Alex makes a great point. That the transition, that having that. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Sick in my bum.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Not an eye.
I know. No, that's all right. That chat for Ibrox Radio. No hearing Premier Sports, man. Please.
Yeah, if you
started off really, really well there. You're very eloquent, but you've just let yourself down, pal. Not just me. You've let everybody down that's listening. Back to what Alex was saying. bang on the money. Because we have to have that conveyor belt of talent. And obviously that seems to be in place. Could I say you have Alex's namesake in midfield, maybe there to looks like a ready replacement for Stephen Davis, Patterson for Tavernier. Potentially. Aye, there's a long way to go, but I think the things, if they are in place, that's really, really good for our club. Patterson right back, McCrory, McGregor. Aye, I can see what Alex is saying. I can see he's done his homework.
JFK. Oh, he's away listening to his records. Bridgeman, in you come, mate.
Oh, can I say good evening to Mr. Kelly? Big Al for Sydney. Good evening to both of you. Welcome.
Sydney.
I don't like this fight, and I hope he's only going to start fighting. I just don't like it. Don't like it at all. I'm a bit scared of these things. So, can I just say, hey.
That was a blatant lie.
Of course. No, I think that the thought that Goldson, based on what you're saying there, that your thought process is that Goldson's going to leave and Katic could be called back and around about Christmas time you start slipping in there at centre half role. That's not a bad thought. Not a bad thought, you know. Why not? I don't know, but I don't want Goldson to leave. I think Goldson's a tremendous player for us. Big Cat's a good player for us as well. So they were a good. They had not a bad shall we say, partnership going. Apart from the fact that poor old Katic was on the left hand side there, and he's not a left-footed player at all, so it makes life difficult. But no, it was good thought. He could come back, take off with goals, and hit enough.
Right, Rich, can I say? I wasn't looking at Goldson to leave in like say Christmas time. I'm expecting Goldson to sign another year in the contract because I would hate for him to leave Rangers for nothing after what Stevie Gerrard's done to resurrect his career. You know, he was going nowhere at Brighton. He was on a hospital bed basically 4 years ago. We've resurrected his career, so I think it would just be good of Goldson to sign a wee bit of loyalty to Gerrard.
Loyalty in football. Now, there's a thought. Big Al.
Well, Alex is
his sentiment.
Loyalty. I don't know if he knows much about loyalty, you know, because he's freelance. Look, Goldson. There has to be change, doesn't there? And there probably will be change. But if he signs another contract, how long would that contract be for? Would you think the club would put a 2-year or a 4-year in front of him?
Oh, mate, that's maybe what some of the discussions are about.
Aye.
I don't know if you it's just your internet, Al. Your sound's going up and down, mate. I don't know if you're moving about.
Right, I've stopped.
All right.
So that matters, doesn't it?
Aye, of course it is.
When does his form start to wane? Do you get rid of the player while he's still on pretty much a high? Or do you wait till he's not playing well? Or how do you get rid of him? I think that's a question for the management team. If you said you gave him a 4-year contract, would the management team still be in place in 4 years' time? In 2 years' time, I would think so. So, look, it's difficult. I'd probably say, look, we give you a 2-year contract at the moment. I don't think people are handing out big contracts. He's getting on in age, but it's a difficult thing to get that transition. If Katic came back and was playing really, really well over there and came back and got a few games in, but I just didn't see him slotting in if Goldson's playing well, because I think that would be his better position playing there, where Goldson plays. So it's a difficult one.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll see what it takes us.
Can I give my thought on it, Oxshire?
Aye, of course, on you go.
I think if Connor Goldson had any inclination that he gave to the gaffer he was moving, I think they'd have kept Katic here. So that tells me that he's going to be staying. But I think it's the length of the contract he's wanting. So, that's my only reason for that, because I'd like to have seen Katic stay and fight for his place, but obviously the gaffer thought he's better elsewhere, so maybe the element of that Goldson's just in the throes of signing the contract, maybe that's what pushed the gaffer to let Katic go out on loan.
I don't know if it's just the length, mate. It might be the amount that's on it.
Yeah, the wages.
Yeah.
Wages he's looking for. But we'll see. We'll see. Look, we can't do anything about it. We've done it with Lundstrom. We've done it with other players. Players come and go at a time. You've just
What do you think, Ox? What do you think is a reasonable wage for a centre half, or a reasonable wage for a player playing in the Scottish Premier League?
A reasonable player for a player playing the Scottish Premier League and a guy playing for Rangers. I think they're two different things. But listen, Golson, what do I think Golson's worth? What do you think he'll be on this new Al? What did we sign him for? Was it $3.5 million?
But is he on about 15 grand? I wouldn't think.
I think you'll be talking more than that, mate. Yeah.
20. Really?
Aye, mate. Aye. Yeah. You know what I mean?
25,000 a week.
Well, I mean, it's his wages, and I think if I was his agent, mate, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but if I was his agent, I'd be quoting the fact that he's played 171 games, never missed. How much money would you have to pay to replace him to get somebody a similar note? He's important to the team, whether people like him or no. The stats bear that out. That's what you'd be selling him, and you'll need to spend X amount to get somebody as good as him, and we think we want a bit of that pie. That's what his agent will be saying, rightly or wrongly.
But the club could say, look, he's only played really well in the last 70 games, because prior to last season, he didn't set the heather on fire. I think a lot of his, you know what I mean? But I think to pay, so he would maybe be looking for 30, 35 grand a week if he was on 25. That's a lot of cash.
I think you're talking about somebody who would maybe looking to double their wages out.
50?
I never said that. I said
no. I know what you're saying, but I'm just going with the figure that was quoted. So
because
it's a lot of cash.
He would be saying you need to spend 10 million to get somebody of my calibre in here now. Yeah, that's what whether we agree with it or no, Jimmy's another thing. But
there is a list out there that I've put up here. I mean, whether it's a true list or no, going with the financial years and all that, what the players' wages are, and according to this list here, that Conor Golson's on £25,000 a week. Alan McGregor, for whatever reason, is only on 11. So I don't know. It says further down that
we wouldn't discuss Bridgman's wages on here, so I just think we just stick to ballpark.
So who would you think? Who would you think is the top earner at Ibrox just now?
Good question. Alfredo Morelos.
Yeah. Well, I'd have thought that.
Ryan Kent.
No. It's Kamal Roof. He's on 35 a week.
Wow.
Where are you getting that for, Jimmy? Because it's no discounts.
Well, it's going here. It's here. It's It's Rangers FC player. It's an operating loss thing and all that. I never said it was a true loss, but what I'm saying is, when you're saying 25,000, you're probably near the mark there. It is probably on about 25,000.
What did we sign Kamal Roof for? About £1 million more than Golson when we brought him in, and he's basically a goal scorer. But
you've got to remember what kind of wages that Kamal Roof was on doing at Leeds.
Aye, on decent dough, aye.
Tell the guys what Tavernier's on, the captain of the club.
Fox has just said 400 grand a week.
7 grand or something.
It says, according to this list, he's on 13.5 grand a week. But again,
is Helander, is he on the list? Because I seen something that he was on 15 grand.
10 it says here.
Oh, right.
Helander is not on the list. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me.
Do you think? Can I ask you a question? Do you think a wage cap would be not necessarily a league thing, but as in a club thing? We have a wage cap.
You can have a wage cap. I don't think you would publicise it out.
No, but you know what I mean? Because they figures that we're quoting 35 grand and 25, it's a lot of cash. So the tax man takes half of that straight away, doesn't he?
Man.
I mean, if you were getting 30 grand a week and then you went to the cash line and you got 15,000, I mean, I'd be pretty happy with that, you know. I'd drop some money like you and Bridge, but
I don't know.
I'd still be happy with it.
Bridge, I don't know if we get my bed for that. Would we, Bridge, man?
That's a good question.
But aye, listen, mate. What will be will be. And good question, Alex Kelly. What will be. Connor Goldson, he, unfortunately, modern football, he's in the driving seat, JFK, and if he doesn't sign or he signs, it's totally down to him. We can't control it as a club or a supporter, can we?
No, if he's putting on demands that are acceptable to Rangers, then there's better players than him have left. You know, he can't be seen to hold us to ransom. I know he's played that amount of games for us, and fair dues to him. You know, his contract.
Guarantee you play another one, is there?
No, there's no guarantee he's going to play another one. I mean, his contract does expire next season, so when he come January, then he's eligible to sign a pre-contract with anybody he wants. But he's 27, 28 now, isn't he?
He'll be 29 on the week before Christmas, mate.
Well, there you are. So, I mean, I don't know what he's holding out for. Probably holding out for more money. You know, if he's looking to, surely he's not looking to. If he is on 25 grand a week, is he looking for another 10 in Tampa? That's pretty. He's not an international player. International players tend to command a better fee. They go with that, you know. But he's certainly not that. Well, we'll see. Aye.
Watch this space. We'll stick with it, and we'll see what it takes. It's a good question, Alex Kelly. It's took you years, but you come up with one.
No bother. Listen, see, something you said earlier, I think it was Jimmy, that we class ourselves as a Europa League team now. I don't think there's any disgrace in that, guys, being classed as that. We've got to walk before we can run. It was almost 5 years ago that Pedro Casillas stood in the bush arguing with supporters, you know, so just one thing at a time.
If I would have said to you when Stevie G walked in the door, we'd have qualified for every Europa League in the next 4 years, and not just that, competed in every section as we have done. We have done every year with Stevie G. You wouldn't have thought you'd have thought I needed drug tested at this time when he walked in the door, wouldn't you? Well, we were.
Definitely. Massive credit to Gerrard for doing that, you know. So, listen, I just think the group of players had a wee bit of a hangover still for winning the championship last year. I think they mentally thought that was them. They've got to the next level, and the total disappointment in no playing well against a team like Malmo, and then them seeing going on to beat Ludogorets. That should be motivation alone for them to win the league this year and to be better in it next year.
Well said. We've now been joined. You're AK now, because we've been joined by Alec Fewishaw. How are we doing, Alec?
Good evening, Oaks there. Bridgeman, JFK, Alec, Big Al, everybody else that's there on the panel. How you all keeping?
Keeping well, mate. Keeping well.
Good, mate. The floor's yours.
Keep us on. Here. It was just the other night there, you had a right good discussion there about the old firm and that, about the game, with the atmosphere and what we had in that. Then it was about the visiting fans, the Celtic fans, whether to come back or no. I know where I'm on, what I'm about it. I don't want them back, but we had a good debate in the house with my young boys and that, you know. And they're against it. They definitely want to go to Celtic Park with 7,500 and give them their 7,500 back. So this is a thing with me and the kids, you know.
Can I ask you a question, Alec? Just to point of clarification, no order. Your young boys, they would want to go to the away games.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a point, and me and Bridge have had this discussion many times. It's easy when you don't go to away games to tell people that they should gear up. And the younger people, most of the fans that go to the away games are a younger element. When we were young, nobody would have told us to gear up. Wouldn't they? We would have done it.
Absolutely, that's what they keep saying, Dad. You get your turn at doing it. How are we not getting our turn? But there's a good point. There's a good point Bridgman brought up. The Celtic Park, and I've swore I'll not be back anywhere near it, so it doesn't really bother me that way. But Bridgman made a good. If they're getting, or what they're talking about, if they get back to the Brimlone stand again, and they get their 7,500, Rangers should ask to get the full terracing. How they do it, I don't know. That's the only way I think it could be sorted, and no stuck up in that stupid corner. But it caused a wee bit of good debate in here, just listening to how the young ones see it and how I see it, like, you know.
Did you win?
No, not really. Not really. They're hell bent. They're not caring if they get 700. But they want it back to where it was. And I was showing them videos of what it was like. We used to go 18, 20,000 at Old Celtic Park. And they think they're missing out, they kids, you know. Right. And for to turn around and say, no, and they're visiting fans and that, they're no into it, because they look forward to travel away in that. Sorry,
I agree to a point there, and the fact is, if it's only going to be 750 fans for each, then don't bother. But if they're going to let 7,000 or 8,000 Rangers fans into Parkhead, then I would go along with it that way. I think the 750 is a nothing, so it doesn't really, for me, add any atmosphere to the game. But I would say, and I know some people wouldn't like it, no, they'd maybe have to give up their seats that they become new season ticket holders at Ibrox in the Brimlone stand. But I think that there should be some sort of presence there. But 750 people there doesn't do anything for me. I would like to see. I mean, if you remember the old, going back a while, it was the opening of the Brimlone and the West Enclosure they got at one time. And
they never had the whole Brimlone and the West Enclosure.
Well, the whole Brimlone they had, rather. That's it off it. The whole Brimlone.
And at that time, if you go back then, they had the Celtic end up a section in the men's stand as well, mate.
Aye. I would have liked to see him as much as that. I mean, what is it? What is a Brimlone hold? 8.5.
7.5. Yeah.
7.5. So, I suppose if you were going to make it worthwhile, I mean, I've said before, if they're not going to give them the full Brimlone, give them the corner they've got, and then take it along to the first exit, and that would maybe give them about 2,500 fans, which would probably make the atmosphere. Don't get me wrong, the atmosphere last week and Sunday was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was jumping up and down at my age, away in a two. But no, I agree. Alex said there about I would like to see some sort of opposition fans there, but more than 750.
Mm-hmm. Add to that a wee bit.
One at a time. Listen to your name. It's no different.
You go, Bridge.
On you go, Bridge, man.
I was just going to say that
age before puberty.
At the present moment, there's some real difficult times for the supporters, particularly Rangers fans. They're getting a wee bit of a hard time, and they're getting under examination by certain parts of the media, and well, don't get me wrong, we've been trial by television nearly all the time anyway. But I believe that if we have a moratorium, just for saying, no fans in either stadium for away games, and let's see how they go. And that's all I mean. Let's see how they go on for a season, or maybe even 2 seasons, and let's see what happens, and see if things kind of quieten down a wee bit. Because these games, they are highly charged, particularly away supporters, both sides. So that's the reason I'm saying these things. There's a lot of different now from what it used to be, and it's a bit more, shall we say, vicious in their minds, and a really poor displays for some of them.
Yeah, so can I just come in, Alex? Right. See when you're not talking, Alex for Wishaw. See when you're not talking, can you put your phone on mute and we'll bring you back in? Just stay on mute. We're getting some noise through your phone, mate. You'll not hear it, we do, mate. Yeah.
Okay, then, mate.
Right, when you're not talking, we'll bring you back in. Just put your phone on mute. Big Al, carry on, mate. The floor's yours.
When I was a young man going to Ibrox and we were playing the puddle drinkers, I'll be honest here, it gave me the bulk looking at them. So I wouldn't have any of them in the stadium.
Aye, I get it, but did you go to Parkhead?
Aye. That gave me the bigger bulk, but I prefer going to my home ground.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have any of them, man.
I think the point that Alex's boys making, it'd be great to get them on, by the way, Alex Wishaw. I think the point he's making is certain people with the rite of passage, dear young men getting really into the Rangers, want to support the team home and away, abroad. They want to go to the games, and they want to go to all the games, like their forefathers have been able to do. That's their point of view. Alex Wishaw. Alex Fay, AK, and then Alex Wishaw.
Good point, Ox. I remember going to the games yourself, and you just didn't want to miss a game. You know, you soaked in the atmosphere, and them being there in their thousands actually added to the atmosphere. Even though we didn't like them being there, and it was the same way us going over the city to Celtic Park. They didn't want us being there. But see the feeling that you get when you go to the games and you actually beat your opponent in their own stadium, there's nothing like it. Absolutely brilliant. I just think they need to sit down round about the table. We need to come to some sort of compromise. I think it's not very good for the home fans, the home season ticket holders at Broomloan Road losing their ticket for that game. But it does add to the occasion.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Rangers are maybe looking at some capacity, maybe changes to the stadium to up the capacity, maybe helps all it. I don't know. I'm only speculating. Alex Wishaw, great point, mate. Great point. In you come, mate.
That could be the answer, as you say, extend the stadium. But you listen to the young team and that, what they think about it. You know, as I say, we've had our day going there. It wouldn't bother me. I thought the atmosphere was terrific there on Sunday. But just after it and that, then you read about yourself, and they were sitting round about, and they just loved going there. Right? This is the thing. Right. And they feel as if they're getting penalised and all.
Did you have sympathy for their point of view, mate?
Sorry?
Did you have sympathy for their point of view?
In a certain way. Because they believe bloody the club in that, you know, so they just want to go and follow their team. They go to the away games, and whereas with Celtic Park now. But as I say, if you were going to go that way, what really got me about it, when they get the 7,500 in the Broomloan stand, it was a full stand they got. And we went to Parkhead there, you're stuck on that corner. Right?
I understand that argument. I understand that, yeah.
And that's me, if you get the full, I know you'd want the full terracing, but it means you're increasing tickets off them. You're never going to get it. So I don't know how they would solve this. Sorry.
For the next caller, Ox here, can I give you a wee stat? Just looked up. We were not the only club that does this. It's all supply and demand. Barcelona and Real Madrid only allow 810 fans in each.
They don't really travel to away games, but
they don't travel to away games exactly. But it's supply and demand. I mean, they're no like here that the away fans travel. I totally agree with you. It's supply and demand with Rangers. Rangers are been champing at the bit to get more fans in, and if this is what they've done, so it's a great point Alex made.
I don't think it necessarily brings us in more money.
No.
You know, because obviously you've got a lot of kids in the Broomloan stand and families. So if you just sell the tickets as family tickets and they don't have the Old Firm game, and then you sell the tickets at 50, 60 quid a seat, you actually economically might be better off. I don't think it's about money.
Anyway. Yeah, well, I was in the, probably a lot of people, I was in the family section with my two boys, and they didn't get into the Celtic game. I was given a ticket elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They weren't allowed in. That was part of your season ticket.
It wasn't that they weren't allowed in, they just weren't allowed in with you.
Probably, mate. You shouldn't have told them that. They're listening.
Oh dear. But it's listen, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I've got sympathy with both camps. I get it. I enjoyed the game on Sunday, but as a younger guy, Big Alfie Australia, I wanted to go there and sing my songs. Might not be allowed to sing some of them anymore, but did. And who am I to take that away?
Aye, but I think it's changed now, isn't it? We've went down a path now that it's tit for tat. What about it with each other? So I think it's changed for when I was a young man. You were a young man. Bridge was a young man. Jimmy, Alex himself. It's changed. The scene's changed. So I think I wouldn't have any of them. Albert Pirrett hit the nail right in the head the other day there. I'd rather have one Rangers fan and extra Rangers fan in the stadium than 1,000 any other fans. And when you talk about travelling support, the only team that takes a travelling support is ourselves to all the other grounds. It's the Blue Pound. I'd rather the Blue Pound was spent at Ibrox.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to stop the young guys wanting to travel, mate.
No, they can do what they want. I've done my thing. I'm not going to tell them what to do or what not to do. I'm just giving you my opinion. I just think the scene's changed now. So, and I think we're too far down that road to go back.
Yeah, agree with that.
Football is sanitised as well. Like you're saying, you can't sing the songs. You know what I mean? My first game at the Puddles Drinkers was when John Brown, the New Year's Day game. I think was that the last game it was on when John Brown scored and jumped out of the Hordens. It was great, rattling stuff, throwing stuff at that mesh fence between the Rangers end and the jungle. You know what I mean? You can't do that now. You can't throw a can of beer or a glass bottle at MD now. You go to the jail for it. But back there, it was just sport. Just sport.
Anyway, we've been joined by both.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go. But thanks very much again. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. All the best. Look after yourselves. Stay safe.
Cheers, buddy.
We've been joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridge. Evening, Jimmy.
How you doing, pal?
Evening, Bears. It was a great point there that Alex brought up about the away fans. We've said that for the last couple of years. We were lucky enough that we go to all the away games when we were young. In fact, even right up to well in the 40s and 50s. But I mean, the way it is now, I've said it now for a long time on this show, especially. I grudged it to a certain extent whenever they changed their grun. Bottom line is, some of our players come out and tell the truth. We know the hypocrisy and everything that's surrounded with the Old Firm game, so a lot of them keep their powder kegs dry. Bottom line is, some of our players tell the truth, and they tell you when they run out that tunnel, some of them, it gave them the onus to fight even more, because when they looked to their left, all they could see was that mob. Our players coming out of their tunnel locks. Now, we know this is fact. Our players have got to wait till they're well onto the park before they can even see our fans. That's a disadvantage, whether we like it or not. And we all know the ins and the outs. I get the point about the young guys like to travel to support their team. We all do, but the situation is now, when Gers are at their ground, they're at a massive disadvantage. And Jimmy's right when he says about, I mean, the so-called 750, that doesn't put a dent in anything. That doesn't do either set of players any good whatsoever. I don't care what you say. It doesn't, because they don't even hear them. They might see them if they're going out their way to look for them at the end of a game. But during the game, oh no. I'm quite happy. I'm a bit like Big Al that way. I get the semantics and everything. Yes, there probably should be, in this day and age, there should be an element of away fans in a ground, and it adds to the spectacle, especially in an Old Firm game. But the semantics are right. When they come out of your ground, there's no doubt about it. When they're coming out of that tunnel and they see a full end because of the situation at our ground, with the shape and everything, they're at an advantage, whereas our players aren't at their ground. Definitely no.
Aye. Well, funny thing is, mate, the last few games we've done all right, haven't we?
Absolutely, and it swings and roundabouts. I know, but if you're coming out the tunnel and you see a full wall, and that's what they were getting at Ibrox. They were coming out that tunnel and seeing a full end. Now, even if they'd done it like the olden days and they gave them a wee bit of the Broomlin or something, fine, I don't have a problem with that. But you see that coming out and they were getting a full end? Oh no, I was set dead against it. I really was.
They've had that full stand since 1980, mate.
I know, a long time, aye. And they were always at an advantage. And I know it swings and roundabouts depending on the results, etc. But I was listening to a wee bit of it. I don't know if any of you seen it. You probably did. Last Friday, that Talk Sport, Jim White was at Ibrox in the morning, and they had McCoist on, then he left. They had Patterson sitting in the touchline with him. And all of a sudden, Souness troops in, and Jim White says, "What the hang? Where have you came from?" He says, "Well," he says, "you come after playing at Glasgow Airport." He says, "And this is the place." He says, I can't just walk by." He says, "And I heard you." So I come in. It just so happened that's what they're talking about. Rangers at that game, obviously there was no away fans. And he says, "Look," he says, "I was born and brought up a Ger." He says, "Once you're a Ger, you're always a Ger." He says, "I get the point." He says, "There should be some away fans." He says, "But it doesn't bother me." Hartson was the one that made that kind of point and say, no, there should be fans there. There should be fans there. But our fans are at a massive disadvantage when we're in their ground now. And you need to face facts. They are. They definitely are at box.
I think what I would feel is, and I'll go to Alec for Wishaw with this, I think the disadvantage is you're getting crap seats for the same money. They're getting prime seats. Alex?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you remember we went to Parkhead and that, or you'd have full end. I keep meaning to get in about the jungle. That's as far as I go back, right? So these young guys now, as I said before, they're sitting here. It's quite a good debate. It's no who's right and who's wrong. It was quite good just listening to them. And they're like, "No, Dad, I'll have to go there, by the way. 7,500 stuck up in that corner." I was there 3 times, Oxford, and I'll never be back anywhere near that ground. That's me personally, right? But it's them now. And I know the debate was going on about trying to get them back into Ibrox and that. And the last caller's 100% right. You're stuck up there in that corner up there, by the way. And the Rangers players are on the park before they even see you. Okay, they might hear you. But when Celtic get there, by the way, that full stand. The only way I would say, if they give Rangers that full Celtic end, it'll never ever happen with that Green Brigade, with the North curving that they've got. But that to me is that diving it right out. Give Rangers a full terrace. No matter if it's another 4,000 tickets more than they were getting. But to me, that's even Steven. But that's just my personal opinion with it.
All right. We'll go to this caller, and he can sort out this debate. We've been joined by Jim from Paisley. Evening, Jim.
Hi, good evening, guys. This is. Hi, I'm all right. You all right?
Hello, Jim.
You sound all right. I'm going to tell you something that nobody. I've told this story, I don't know many times, and nobody believes me, apart from the other 20 guys who was with me that day. I wasn't with them all. I was with 4 guys. Go back the day when Celtic built that new. Remember they built the new stand. It was their new stand. The late 70s. I don't even remember. Obviously,
the main stand. The main stand, yeah.
Yeah, the main stand, right. So we were going to Parkhead that day, and we're all talking about it. Saying, we'll get tickets for the new main stand, which we did do, and we got the tickets, and we're sitting right at the very end, at the front, at the Rangers end. Guess what I was sitting on that day? A plastic bucket seat, as if they just shoved them in. The stand, I don't think the stand was actually finished properly. There was 20 seats. You know the one seats you sit in a canteen with? The one plasticky seats, those kind of plastic bucket seats.
I know what you mean. I've walked past them a few times, mate. I get lunch brought to me.
Well, I'm not kidding you, Oxford. Honestly, I'll swear my Tribosi's life. There was 4 of us there, and we sat in 4 of these seats, and we were sitting. Is this our seats today? And there was about 4 or 5 behind us, and there was I think it was about 20 of them, right? I can't remember, roughly 20. And that's what I sat on that day. And we didn't think about we've got our seat anyway. I'm saying, what are we sitting on here? And I've told that story 100 times and people don't believe me. But see, maybe some of the guys were sitting in the seats that particular day, if they listen to this, what Mark called it now.
Yeah. And what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the home and away fans, mate? What's your thoughts?
Well, this is a can of worms now, right? So what I'm going to say to you is, I think it's 750. I'd love to call it 750 pounds. 750 fans is no use to us. And if you're in the Broomloan stand, what are they going to say to them? The bottom half of the Broomloan stand, there's your season tickets. You can't get an Old Firm game. But in saying that, I don't sit in the Broomlow stand, so unfortunately, we sit in the Mesa. But I would give the bottom half of the Broomlow stand, and let's get the same. We go to the other place, whatever they call it, Park Keys, Celtic Park. They keep changing the name, and we'll get that. If it was like 3,000 or something, I don't know what that gives you. Sitting in the room and
I think there's a lot of reasons. I think there's a lot of reasons that wouldn't happen. I wouldn't think the post would have let one group of fans be above the other, Jim. I've got to be honest with you.
All right, we'll go in the tap then. Okay then. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
He's party. No, but
you like going on tap, mate? Yeah.
Aye, absolutely. You know what I mean? Though, you're right when you're saying the callers were saying, Jeff, not were saying 750. There's no point. There's absolutely no point in that. I don't see any point whatsoever. I don't see any point whatsoever.
Jim, you've not been on. We've not heard from you. Just give your quick thoughts about last Sunday.
Oh God! I did it by watch no name. I sat and watched the whole game. Fantastic.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
Sat and watched it. I thought we never really got a second gear, did we? I don't think we got a second gear. I think there's more to come for the Gers this season. I think we're getting better and better.
Did you punt us?
I can't. Do you know I did? I picked Connor Goldson to score any time, which was disappointing. Right? He was 11-2 at the time. I've been backing Connor Goldson to score over games. I turned back. I have had that turn back.
Okay, good.
But say that for results wise, this season I've lost some money.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's on a bit of fun for you, isn't it?
Absolutely, I don't really care. You know, I'm meant it. No,
I know that, mate. I know that. And you're the second richest man on here this evening.
Far for you?
No. I'm way down the pecking order. I was on here tonight. Way down the pecking order. I'm not in the top 7. Right, where are we? And you come, Blue Star. It's one of these things. It's people's personal choice, and it's very difficult to. I get Alex Wishaw's point, and understand other people's point who don't want him back in the stadium. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, if I'm being honest.
You're high, absolutely. Plus the fact that what was it Big Al there that mentioned about throwing cans at the old bit of fencing and that at the jungle. It's got to the stage now. Let's be honest. You were on earlier on there talking about we know the media and everything else are out trying to catch your fans saying whatever, rightly or wrongly. And the bottom line is, Ox, even if we hold our hands up here and we're truthful, we know there's certain songs we can sing. We know there's certain songs we can't sing. And at every away ground now, because it's not just TV cameras, it's the way they've got their mics and that now as well. You watch it at some of the away grounds, they've got about a dozen mics on front of the Rangers fans because that's what they're trying to do. And lo and behold, they're always going to pick up something. So when it comes to an Old Firm game now, I'm sorry, I don't have any issues with it at all. Honestly, I would keep it the way it is. I would let both grounds have their own fans. And I get where it's coming from because I say we've all done it for years and years and years, and I can see where the youngins are coming from. Probably you would think by rights there should be a section of away fans. There should be, but the way I see it at their ground, they are making no attempt whatsoever to try and house our fans in even what I classify as a respectable area. Because as I say, our players don't see them until they're well on that flipping pitch. And as I say, they're at a massive advantage when they're coming out of our tunnel and they get a whole end. And you're right in what you said there, that if they could just give them the bottom half of that, you're right, the Polish wouldn't stand for that at all. And that's why they get a whole end. Rather than keeping half of it shut, they were giving them the whole end. And I just don't think that's right. I think they were at a massive advantage. And for me, just have it the way it is. Whether it can come to some kind of seeness or not, I don't know. As you say, I think it would need to be, maybe we could enlarge. Well, there's one for you, and I know we've spoken about it often, I would love to see something getting done with our corners and making our run a bit bigger, without a shadow of a doubt. Whether that's on the cards or not, who knows?
Aye, but I think the club are looking at it, mate. I think they're looking to. I think if they could, mate, they'd like to get about 12,000 in, but it's got to be cost efficient, yeah. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to be cost efficient.
Do you think there's anything in the Argyle suite moved during the week?
300 extra people that Giza's in the ground, mate.
Is that what Giza's? Aye.
300 extra people, aye. And they'll not be cheap seats. There'll only be people like Bridgeman that'll be in there. You know what I mean? Yes, Alex.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's just a wee observation of watching some games on Rangers archives and that. And Bridgeman will remember it. See, in the 60s and everything, you used to basically have a Celtic half and a Rangers half, and it would be the same when we go to Celtic Park. You know, I think it's just a poor reflection in society now that it seems to be a lot better than it was back in the days, because you would go to the game, you'd be pals with the other side, you'd be a 90-minute bigot, so to speak, and then you would go to the pub and just talk about the game after it.
What pub did you go to?
What pub did you go to?
I haven't even been seeing me a Partick Thistle fan, never mind one of them. Sorry, Gary, if you're listening. You're the only one, Gary from Australia.
Mr. Brownlee. No, there's Big Smeets and Stevie Little as well. But listen, I get what you're saying. Society's changed. I think the biggest problem we've got in society this new might be mobile phones, mate, for people getting dug up for minor acts that end up all over the media, you know, but we're in a different kind of war. Listen, let's be honest, Alec, this is no always about Rangers and Celtic. Some of this with the people who's getting involved, it's political as well. You know, if you can't, we're in this kind of war.
Sir, can I just wonder if I just wonder if it's a standing area come into effect, which I think everybody's looking at now. See, there's a certain standing area, whether it be the front enclosure or the.
You don't get it. Doesn't get you any more attendance in, mate.
I know, but it might be a place to put your away fans into. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that. But I'm just guessing. I'm just making it up as I go along here.
I don't know. I think, listen, if we could get to the stadium, it'd be interesting. And I'd also like to know, Alex from Wishaw, I'd also like to know what the coppers are saying about this, because obviously they might be happy for it and might be a driving force behind it.
Well, that could be right enough. Obviously, the emergency services as well, probably the hospitals and that. It's like it was an Old Firm game after. It could be quite violent, that. So we know opposition fans getting in, you've less chance of that because it's all your fans in it. See, this is the thing. I'm all for that side as well. Just keep it the way it is. But it's quite a good debate when you just listen to how the kids going about it. That's all. But I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen.
Ox, could I just say a wee point in Balogun, mate, please? You see when they interviewed him straight after the game when he told me he was man of the match, etc. How honestly refreshing was that when you heard that guy? No, I hadn't really heard the guy speaking much apart from the wee odd snippet at Rangers TV. See when you heard him in that interview, see the passion that he showed. I thought that was absolutely tremendous, because let's be honest, he's been a bit kind of starter, but in that game, to play him at right back and for him to play the game that he had, absolutely amazing it was. And I thought the guy conducted himself as most other players do. The way he was in that interview, when you seen the passion in him talking about the club and that, I thought it was a great interview. I really did.
Yeah, they know who they're buying. They've done their homework. And most of the players about these less foreign players, and he just fits the mould.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, he had a great game last week, and I love the way. If I'm being honest, and I'll go to Bridgeman with this being the elder statement, I love the way all the players and the management staff conduct themselves.
Perfect. I think every single one of them, I've said it a number of times now since Sunday, they were just outstanding. And I think a lot of that stems from confidence they get with having the whole stadium full of Rangers fans, and they don't need to concern themselves too much if there's any trouble from any sections of the fans. I think that makes a perfect sense for a huge game, and I don't know whether Rangers Football Club are interested in getting back into Celtic Park, and it's a fact where the fans are. I don't know if that's the case, and I do know that Celtic want to get the fans back in, particularly at Ibrox. Whether in fact they would like to reciprocate or not is making any difference. But I think they desperately want to get into Ibrox.
I think that's a great point, mate. I think they're playing to their hordes, mate, who are obviously somebody took away from them. It's easy to say something and no mean it. Your wife says it to you every night, doesn't she?
How do you know?
She tells me.
I think, Oxshire, that all this is all coming for them, because they're trying to make us to be the big bad boys again, that we're not allowed near fans in. Why are we doing that? And it's no that Rangers are refusing. That Rangers have did this for supply and demand, and the supply and demand is the thousands of Rangers fans who have been crying out for a season ticket for many years, and including one of our good friends on here, Big Stevie, who to go on a waiting list for a long time. So they did what they had today. I think it would be sad if come next season or the season after they had to turn into these people and say, by the way, as from such and such a season, you will no longer be a season ticket holder. As I say, it was either all in or all out for me, but I'd still like to see the Rangers fans in there alone.
I get the logic about that. Well, Alex Fayershaw, you tell your boys they've hijacked our show, but they've caused some great debate, mate.
I love it, man. It's quite good to hear everybody's got opinion on it and that, There's no right or nobody's wrong.
Right.
I just thought that I enjoyed my time with the rest of these travelling to see the Rangers and that. And all Firm games are special games. The atmosphere on Sunday was absolutely electric.
If we don't get it right, what we do is we take all the bus passes after the Algians and give the youngsters a tax cut. How's that?
Steady. I'm on the Algians.
I'm a concession ticket I've got, right?
Yeah, but here, dogs, you can't. See the old days. Well, when I'm the Rangers end, I had to walk by the Celtic end to get my motor at the Ben's Club. You had to walk by that while they were coming out and greeting the green face. I used to love that. And now you miss that now, walking by them when they're he's doing and.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Listen, it's been great debate. Can we just say for Rangers Radio to Heart and Hand in their fight against the press, we stand by you. We might not always agree, but we're all part of the Rangers family, and sometimes we have to be united. Listen, everybody's got a past, and if that's a game they're playing, so let's see where it takes them. GFK, I hope you enjoyed it tonight.
Yeah, mate, certainly did. It was great to come on and bump my gums. Somewhat good and I suppose somewhat rubbish, but I'd like to just concur what you said there, mate. I'd just like to wish the guys Heart and Hand. We're with you, side by side, mate, guys. So be strong. I think there's a big battle ahead. But it was good to be on Rangers Radio tonight, mate. Thanks very much.
Can I just say, obviously, we've no show at the weekend because we've no game for the international break. And at the start of next week, we will be testing all the panel members who have been allowed to pick their own Rangers subject, and they will all be quizzed on it live on air. Over to you, Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? By a smashing night tonight, brilliant discussions, particularly that last 20 minutes there, when they get down to the sort of the nitty-gritty of crowds and crowd control and what they need and what they want, and how the youngsters feel, how the travelling support feel. Just brilliant to listen to. Really, really good. I'm sure anybody that wanted to listen in and has got an interest in football would have found it quite enthralling. But can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers, because we need to keep them going. We need it. Keep it going.
Doing a Bridgeman. Can I thank everybody who's took part in the show tonight? I think all the callers were excellent. I liked everybody's debate and the way they conducted themselves. It's difficult to put yourself out there sometimes, especially in these modern times. Once again, remind anybody it's the last chance to win Marvin Andrews strip for 2005, which you can do by going to justgiving.com/Marvin5, and then you've got a chance for £10 to win the Marvin Andrews top for Helicopter Sunday 2005. Anybody that's in the West End of Glasgow tomorrow, if you've got the opportunity, go along to Partick Bowling Club and maybe support the club and Rangers supporters Erskine Appeal, where they're having their annual bowling day to raise money for a worthy cause. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking part. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. We'll be back on Monday when the panel will be put under pressure. Take it away, Old School Blue.
As I was walking down the Coleman Road, I met a bunch of strangers. They said to me, are you going to see